It is now my pleasure to call to order the 2018 Annual Meeting of Stockholders of Hormel Foods Corporation. Please note the legal disclosure shown on the screen, as some of the comments tonight may be forward-looking. Joining me on stage is Brian Johnson, Vice President and Corporate Secretary, who will act as Secretary for this meeting. Each of you received a program as you came into the auditorium. We will follow the agenda in the program and conduct the business portion of the meeting first. We ask that you please hold any questions you might have for the question and answer period. Your program also includes the rules of procedure we will follow for this meeting. We ask that all speakers follow these rules, including limiting their remarks to 3 minutes. We will now turn to the official business of the annual meeting. Mr. Secretary, has proper notice of this meeting been given to stockholders, and do we have a quorum for the transaction of business?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Notice of the meeting was sent to all stockholders of record as of December 1st, 2017, which is the record date for this meeting. A quorum is present at this meeting. Approximately 92% of the company's outstanding stock is represented here tonight, either in person or by proxy.
Since proper notice has been given and a quorum is present, I declare this 2018 Annual Meeting of Stockholders open for business. The polls for voting on all matters are hereby opened at this time, 8:02 p.m. on January 30th, 2018. The polls will remain open until all items of business have been presented. The Board of Directors has elected Jana Haynes, Gary Jameson, and Bob Roball as inspectors of election for this meeting. Our first item of business is the election of a board of 12 directors. In addition to me, the nominees for director are as follows: Gary Bojwani, Chief Executive Officer of CNO Financial Group and former chairman of Allianz Life Insurance Company of North America. Terry Crews, former Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer for Monsanto Company. Dr. Glenn Forbes, former Executive Board Chair and past Chief Executive Officer of Mayo Clinic, Rochester. Steve Lacey, Chairman of the Board and Chief Executive Officer of Meredith Corporation. Dr. Elsa Morano, Director of the Norman Borlaug Institute for International Agriculture at Texas A&M University, and former Undersecretary for Food Safety at the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Bob Nakasone, former Chief Executive Officer of Toys R Us. Susan Nestergaard, former President, Global Healthcare for Ecolab. Dakota Pippins, former Director of Planning at Vigilante, a division of Leo Burnett. Our lead director, Chris Policinski, President and Chief Executive Officer of Land O'Lakes. Sally Smith, President and Chief Executive Officer of Buffalo Wild Wings. And Steve White, President, Comcast West Division. The second item of business is the board's request that the stockholders ratify the Audit Committee's appointment of Ernst & Young as independent registered public accounting firm for fiscal 2018. The third item of business is the Say on Pay advisory vote on executive compensation. The board believes the company's compensation programs have been effective and recommends a vote for adoption of the resolution to approve the compensation of the company's named executive officers. The fourth item of business is a vote to approve the company's 2018 incentive compensation plan. The board recommends a vote for approval of the plan, having concluded the plan is consistent with the interests of our stockholders, contains sound corporate governance practices, and will enable the company to provide competitive compensation. Is there any discussion on these 4 items of business? Hearing none, all of these items were included in the proxy solicitation available to you before this meeting. We will now vote on these items of business. Any stockholder who has not voted by proxy and who would like to vote in person by ballot tonight, please raise your hand and keep it raised until an attendant has provided you with a ballot. Please complete and sign the ballot and pass it to the attendant at the end of the aisle. While the balloting is being completed, I'd like to take a moment and recognize the retirements of Jeff Ettinger and Jack Morrison from our board of directors. Jeff retired as chairman of the board in November 2017 after serving in that role for 11 years and having been on our board since May 2004. Jack joined our board in November of 2003 and retires today after serving as the board's lead director for a 5-year term and as chair of the board's audit and compensation committees at various times in his tenure. We thank Jeff and Jack for their outstanding leadership of our board and wish them the very best. I'd also like to report on 2017 executive retirements and advancements, including Brian Farnsworth, Larry Lyons, and Jim Anderson, each completing long and distinguished careers with the company. We thank them for their contributions and wish them well in retirement. Mark Coffey succeeded Brian Farnsworth as Senior Vice President, Supply Chain and Manufacturing, and Janet Hogan succeeded Larry Lyons as Senior Vice President, Human Resources. Mark Morey was elected Vice President, Affiliated Businesses of our Refrigerated Foods, and Stephen Coven joined the company in the new position of Vice President, Digital Experience. Effective last month, Glenn Leach was elected to the position of Executive Vice President, Supply Chain, and Steve Licken was elected Senior Vice President and President, Jennie-O Turkey Store. I ask all of these officers who were promoted and new officers to stand and be recognized at this time. This concludes the business portion of the agenda. Since voting on the formal matters on the agenda has been concluded, I declare that the polls are now closed at 8:09 p.m., January 30th, 2018. So now, let's talk about Hormel Foods. Our results, our strategies, and most importantly, our path forward. Because Hormel Foods isn't just any company. It's your company. And it is one of the most successful food companies in the world. We owe a great deal of gratitude to you, our shareholders, for your confidence, your loyalty, and your support. So thank you. Hormel Foods is a company that continues to be built on incredibly high expectations. Expectations for how we build strong brands, high-quality products, and unwavering food standards. Expectations for how we treat our customers, our consumers, and our team members. Expectations for how we demonstrate our purpose and values through our words and our actions. And certainly, expectations for how we deliver strong results. We are unapologetic about these expectations, and when we miss on any of them, we do not take it lightly. While many great things happened in 2017, make no mistake about it, the bottom line is clear. we did not meet the financial expectations that we set for ourselves at the beginning of the year. So let's talk about the results, where we hit and where we missed in 2017. We grew our adjusted sales by 3%. However, our earnings declined by 4%. And what drove those results? Well, 3 of our 5 segments, grocery products, refrigerated foods, and international, delivered record earnings and strong sales growth in spite of 1 less week in the fiscal year and incredibly challenging commodity markets. Our refrigerated food segment had another solid year, led by growth in our food service business. Our food service business continues to grow with successful, innovative items such as our Hormel Bacon 1 fully cooked bacon. We also acquired the Fontanini brand, which gives the Hormel food service team another high-quality, branded product line to sell. And we'll talk a little more about that acquisition a little later. Our international segment continued to deliver growth, bolstered by strong results from our growing business in China, as well as Spam and Skippy sales. And speaking of Skippy, here's a fun fact for you. Did you know Skippy is the #1 peanut butter brand in China and growing? We also added, that's something to be excited about. We also added an exciting business in Brazil, and again, I'll share more about that acquisition in a few minutes. Jennie-O Turkey Store had a tough year. They experienced significantly lower earnings due to an industry-wide oversupply situation. Now, on a positive note, we'll tell you that sales of our value-added products, such as our Jennie-O lean ground turkey, continue to resonate with consumers and gain market share. Our expectation is for improved profitability at Jennie-O over the next 9 to 12 months. And we had some challenges in our specialty food segment with declining sales of muscle milk due to increased competitive activity in the ready-to-drink segment. However, I'm confident in our new leadership at Cytosport and their ability to address the competitive issues in the year ahead. And finally, one of our most successful segments was grocery products, with a banner year for both sales and earnings. Many of our largest brands had tremendous years, including brands like Herdez, Holy Guacamole, and Spam. In fact, we sold more Spam in 2017, both domestically and internationally, than we ever have. And there are no signs of slowing down. So we have a great deal to be proud of in 2017, including the fact that it was the second most profitable year by far in our company's rich 126-year history. We are proud that this is the 52nd consecutive year that we have increased our dividend, and the 9th consecutive year we have increased the dividend by a double-digit rate, an increase again this year of 10% over our most recent year. And with our dividend performance over the last 52 years, we are in some pretty rarefied air. In fact, only a handful of companies can make a similar claim. And we can be proud of the fact that Hormel Foods is being recognized as one of the best food companies in the world. In fact, this year, we received more global recognition for our great work than we ever have before. From being named one of the top corporate citizens in the world to being awarded the most innovative product in the entire grocery industry with Skippy PB Bites, the accolades and the awards were the most significant in our company's history. Most admired, top regarded, best managed, and for the first time in our history, we were named one of the world's best employers by Forbes, a true testament to our inspired people. But perhaps the most meaningful recognition we receive is for our respect for the service and sacrifices of military veterans and their families. Thank you. We are considered a top company for veterans, thanks to our recruiting practices, our culture, and our generous policies related to veterans, reservists, and their families. It is these efforts that earned Hormel Foods some of its highest praise, including being named Best for Vets and a Yellow Ribbon Company. So, can I see a show of hand? Please, all of the veterans in the audience. Yeah, thank you for your service. We salute you. In 2017, we also continued to improve and transform our business. We created new and innovative items. We invested in our business to improve our value-added capacity. We grew our size and scale with strategic acquisitions, and we divested some non-strategic assets. And we continued to make solid strategic investments in building our brand portfolio. Today, these brand-building investments have led to 35 brands that are number 1 or number 2 in the categories in which they compete. And we are so fortunate because we have iconic brands like Skippy, Hormel Chili, Hormel Pepperoni, and Spam, which happened to celebrate its 80th birthday last year, joining with new brands like Holy Guacamole, Justin's, and Muscle Milk. And as we work to put more items in more households, our teams created brand-building marketing campaigns that led to strong loyalty and growth. And I'd like to share with you some of the great ways we reached consumers in 2017.
Spam. Don't knock it till you've fried it. Sizzle, pork, and
Cerati apresenta o jogo do troca.
Amigas, sanduíche de mortadela Cerati.
Troca.
Olha o cachorro quente, pessoal.
Eba, que legal!
Troca.
Meninas, nosso lanchinho de peito de frango.
Troca.
Esse aqui é o meu estilo. Eu não vou trocar, não.
Troca. Troca. Troca.
Mais de 100 produtos para você escolher os que combinam com o seu estilo. Cerati, ter estilo é fazer do seu jeito.
Take a trip to another land. Experience the flavors of a special place. Take part in customs shared across generations. Discover flavors inspired by centuries of tradition. In every jar of Herde Salsa, Mexico's #1 selling salsa brand. And see Disney Pixar's Coco, Thanksgiving in 3D.
Chocolate hazelnut butter and pretzels. Almond butter and pretzels for later. Banana and peanut butter. Guys, I packed you a snack. Sir, I packed you a snack. Snack packs.
This is awesome stuff.
I packed a snack for you.
Tree. More than thirst, you feel hungry. Craving more than an ice cold brew. Reach for a can of Dinty Moore stew. Work real hard, crack a stew-ski. Look at the beef in that gravy. This hearty meal is a real big deal. Dinty Moore is the beer of meals.
Hey! Hey!
These are my muscles.
These are my muscles.
These are our muscles.
These are my namaste muscles.
I hate this now, but I'll love it later muscles.
My first 10K.
Never knew I had these.
These are my get me out of here muscles.
These are my friendly competition muscles.
See these muscles?
my muscles, and my muscles love muscle milk.
As we move into 2018, when we continue to set expectations for our team of more than 20,000 inspired people around the globe, they understand our mission, and they are dedicated to delivering the results we all expect in what we call our path forward. In June of this year, our company had the opportunity to present our path forward to approximately 100 institutional investors as part of our Investor Day at the New York Stock Exchange. We shared our long-term growth story, which consists of 4 key corporate goals. We must deliver 5% top-line growth, and I'll tell you, it's one of the most aggressive growth goals in the industry. We must also achieve 10% bottom-line growth, again, one of the most aggressive goals in the industry. And through our relentless quest for innovation, 15% of our net sales by the year 2020 must come from new items that are created in the last 5 years. And we know that we have to continue to improve our profitability over time, so we've committed to being best in class versus our peer group, also by the year 2020. Now, in order to achieve these results, we've established 6 strategic imperatives. And while I won't have time to review each in depth tonight, these 6 strategic imperatives put us on the path to achieve sustainable, industry-leading growth. And I'm pleased to report that we have made great progress since introducing them in June. So what are they? First, we must continue to evolve to a broader food company. We are deeply rooted in the meat protein space, primarily with pork and turkey, and we will always have that at our core. But over time, we have to broaden our portfolio of products to appeal to a larger group of customers and their consumers. Think about how our portfolio has intentionally expanded around dynamic and on-trend brands such as Holy Guacamole, Muscle Milk, Skippy, and Justin's. I mean, think about it. It was only 6 short years ago. We weren't even talking about non-meat protein. We must also broaden how we think about today's consumer, where they shop, when they shop, how they shop, and the impact they are having on our business and retailers' business. Our consumer-centric approach is enabling us to build a world-class food company aligned with today's consumer and providing the necessary insights when it comes to brand building, innovation, and strategic acquisitions. The recent acquisition of Columbus demonstrates the power of these insights, as Columbus offers us a power play in the premium deli category, one of the fastest growing areas in the grocery store. Columbus is on trend with today's consumers, especially millennials, who are looking for unique experiences, flavors, and products. It also provides a catalyst for uniting all of our deli brands and delivering accelerated growth. So let's take a look at this great company.
So the story of Columbus Foods begins exactly 100 years ago in 1917 when 2 Italian immigrants started making salami in a 2-bedroom flat in North Beach, San Francisco's legendary Italian neighborhood. They used the city's famous fog to age their meat to perfection and ended up creating a range of traditional Italian specialties, as well as an exquisite new variety of salami unique to the Bay Area, known as Italian Dry. From these humble beginnings, we've grown to become a national leader in deli meats, with a premium brand that is loved and admired, with one of the broadest premium tier salami and deli meat product portfolios in the industry. We believe meat should be crafted, not contrived. That's why we respect the traditions and time-honored ways of doing things. And as we strive to share our craft with a wider audience, we continue to seek innovative ways to maintain the brand's high level of quality. Retailers appreciate this level of craft and recognize the power of the Columbus brand. Our top customers have been with us for over 20 years, and we are now the most widely distributed deli meat brand in the entire U.S. Consumers love the taste, craft quality, and breadth of the Columbus brand. Our products are used across a wide variety of occasions, from sandwiches to snacks. Columbus meats can be part of a meal or simply enjoyed with a glass of wine. This consumer passion has helped Columbus become one of the fastest growing brands in the deli meat category. And we're just getting started. We're expanding rapidly into new channels, new geographies, new categories, and new consumer occasions, laying the groundwork to become a billion-dollar brand.
So you can see why we're so excited to have the Columbus team join the Hormel family. So next, we will expand and accelerate our food service business. We have an incredibly strong branded presence in food service, and in fact, we outperform the industry with an innovative portfolio of products to meet food service operators' needs. Today, hotels, restaurants, healthcare, colleges, and universities, they're all facing similar challenges, including finding labor, increasing wages, and increasing healthcare costs, along with a myriad of other business challenges. And that's where we come in. Our solutions-based approach takes the burden away from our food service partners. Our products improve their business with innovative pre-sliced or pre-cooked products. Bacon One is a great example. Food service operators love our fully cooked Bacon One product line as it reduces labor and improves kitchen efficiency, but also provides a high-quality product that looks and tastes as if it were cooked from scratch. And we need to produce more bacon to meet the demand that we're creating. So we're expanding our plant in Wichita, Kansas. This plant is instrumental in our production of Hormel Foods bacon products, used in both food service and retail operations. Now, investing in our facilities is incredibly important, but we are also investing in food service growth through acquisitions. As I mentioned earlier, we purchased Fontanini Italian Meats and Sausages, a company that we have been watching closely for many years. Fontanini perfectly complements our branded food service business with its authentic, premium Italian meatballs and sausages. Fontanini was founded in 1960 by Oriano Fontanini, a young Italian immigrant. His son and daughter, Jean and Joanne Fontanini, continued the family legacy and created a company that is highly regarded as the premier Italian meats company serving the food service industry. Their legendary meatballs, and I mean to tell you, these are legendary meatballs, have even been featured on the Food Network's Unwrapped. And we are bringing our resources to them, such as R&D, operations, supply chain, and finance to accelerate their growth. In turn, we're excited about leveraging their new state-of-the-art production facility, which has additional capacity to produce many Hormel Foods products. So this truly is a win-win acquisition. And we're confident that Fontanini will be a tremendous addition to our portfolio of solutions, helping us to build an even bigger and better food service powerhouse in the industry. Third, we must become a more global food company. Our footprint beyond the United States is still relatively small, with only 6% of our company's sales coming from outside the United States. But despite its small size, our international business is filled with immense opportunity. And we believe there's an opportunity to recreate our U.S. model on a more global basis. It's a model that serves us well. We know it, we know how to recreate it, and we're looking for more and more opportunities to build momentum in important global markets. Last year, I had a chance to show you a preview of our new facility being built in Jiaxing, China. This new plant is now up and running, and provides significantly more capacity for our retail and food service businesses. We are also now producing Spam in country for the first time in this new state-of-the-art facility. This spectacular new operation is the result of a lot of hard work by our teams in China and our teams right here in Austin, Minnesota. We recently had the opportunity to take our board of directors to witness this plant in action and see firsthand how this very worthwhile investment will pay dividends for many years to come. And while our China operations continue to expand, we're also expanding our international footprint with our very exciting entry into South America with the acquisition of Sriracha. Brazil is a growing and dynamic market, and we've been carefully exploring an entry there for some time. Sriracha offered us the perfect opportunity to create a strategic foothold, allowing us to establish a full in-country presence with an excellent team of professionals in sales, marketing, operations, logistics, and accounting. This is a growing, branded, value-added company with more than 100 products in 15 categories. Authentic meats such as mortadella, sausage, and salami for Brazilian retail and food service markets. They've been present in homes of Brazilians for more than 85 years. And the Sriracha brand is one of the most recognized traditional brands in the country, standing out for unparalleled quality and incomparable flavor of its products. So you see, from China to South America, we are committed to continued international expansion, and we fully expect our global footprint to continue to grow. And as we grow, we must do so in a way where we reduce volatility and intentionally increase balance across portfolio. Our strong portfolio of trusted brands really tempers volatility in ever-changing market conditions. We are reducing this volatility by intentionally shifting our product mix to more value-added products with a reliance on fewer commodity sales. We must also consistently assess our portfolio to assure that all of our businesses are aligned with our long-term growth strategies. A business that may have been a good fit for us a decade ago, quite frankly, it may no longer fit strategically. A good example of this is the divestiture of Diamond Crystal in 2016 and Farmer John this most recent year. These divestitures have allowed us to increase focus on higher growth areas of our business. And as we've grown and added new companies to our family, our global supply chain has become even more important. The alignment of our supply chain from procurement to shipment has never been more important in our company's history. Today, we have more than 30 production facilities with more than 10,000 supply items, creating more than 10,000 products worldwide. And we must look at continually improving our supply chain and treat it as a strategic competitive advantage and an investment. Because at Hormel Foods, continuous improvement and being smart about our investments isn't a stopgap measure or some short-lived undertaking. You've heard me say it many times in the past, this is truly in our DNA. And nowhere is it more evident than in our annual Best of the Best competition, now in its 18th year. And this is a model for grassroots, bottom-up success from our employee teams. The competition engages employees from across the organization with a keen focus on making our company better through projects both big and small. And we separate the projects into 3 categories: innovation, process, and sustainability. And this year, we have a chance to announce all the winners for you. Our innovation winner is the team from Holy Guacamole with their Holy hand-scooped item. Our process Best of the Best winning team is the Genio Fairbolt Productivity Improvement Team, and our Sustainability Best of the Best winning team is the Wash Water Process Improvements for the Austin Plant and QPP. If all the winning teams would please stand and be recognized. As you can see from their passionate commitment, sustainable growth comes as much from the company's culture as it does our products. And the character of our company is clearly reflected in the characteristics of our products. And our character and our reputation as a globally recognized food company are priceless assets. Because each day we live our purpose of being a company with inspired people creating inspired food. And this new purpose has inspired us to be unafraid to shine a spotlight on all the good that is happening in your company. And I couldn't be more proud of the heart and soul of this company as we do our part in making the world a better place. Because we have a contract of trust with our consumers, customers, and our communities. And we are out to prove that big food can be big, good food. As I said at the beginning of the meeting, we have incredibly high expectations for ourselves. And we are leading by investing in our people and our partners like family farms. We are improving our communities and the world through efforts like our Project SPAMMY in Guatemala and our disaster relief efforts. And we are inspired to be responsible stewards of the environment as we continue to lead with sustainability in our products and our plants. And as a global food company, we have an obligation to ensure that good food is available to everyone without the barriers of means. It is our responsibility to do our part to move the needle from food insecurity to food security. We understand the responsibility that comes with our size and position in the global economy. And rest assured, that responsibility is not lost on me. Since the very beginning, we've been committed to doing more than just writing a check. We know that building social value and creating economic value are not competing goals. And where our path forward that I just described is our compass, our food journey is our North Star.
At Hormel Foods, we've been on a journey for more than 125 years. That journey began in a small town filled with hardworking people in the heart of American farm country. But these heartland principles still guide Hormel Foods on this, our food journey. And what a journey it is. Our journey is inspired not only by the food we make, but by the difference we can make in our world. Since the beginning, we've believed that social responsibility is more than giving a percentage of our profits at the end of the year. While we are committed to many worthy causes, including cancer research and fighting childhood hunger, it is our core business, efficiently producing delicious food for the world's growing population, that we are most proud of. Our belief is that good business and good stewardship go hand in hand. Given our role in helping to feed America and the world, we know that building social value and creating economic value are not competing goals. For us, there is no daylight between good citizenship and good business. Our job is to create beloved brands while also making an impact in communities across the globe. All of humanity is now our hometown. We couldn't be more proud to support our partnership with more than 500 family farms, often spanning multiple generations. They share our commitment to unwavering animal welfare standards and environmental stewardship. Not because someone's watching, but because it's the right thing to do. And with this foundation of stewardship, It is our added mission to ensure that we do our part in the sustainability of our planet by reducing water usage and being a good environmental steward while pursuing alternative energy sources like solar gardens. And while we are doing the big things like preparing quality meals and snacks that feed millions of families every day, we are also doing the little things that make a big difference, like planting wildflowers to nurture bees and butterflies that will pollinate acres upon acres of food. We know we have a great responsibility to use our expertise to inspire the development of foods that support humankind, from patients recovering from cancer to parents caring for their kids. Our inspired people, more than 20,000 strong, are focused on doing more, reaching for higher heights, and inspiring others to do the same. It's who we are, unafraid to lead, imagine, and inspire others in the food industry to do the same. This is our journey, but we won't go it alone. As we move forward, we will be joined by our customers, employees, communities, farmers, and others who, like us, believe we can all make a difference. Together, all of us, we will challenge the status quo, make new discoveries, and lead by example. We'll prove that progress is measured not only in the dollars we make, but in the lives we touch and the communities we lift. Because at Hormel Foods, we're not just inspired to make great food, we're inspired to make a difference on this, our food journey.
And we are making a difference. There's no doubt in my mind. But I would tell you this journey, it's not one that we are on alone. Because we often hear stories about our relationships with our consumers who absolutely love the food that we make. And we love hearing their stories, so much so that we've decided to pay tribute to them. And we call them our inspired fans, those people who love our products and who inspire us each and every day. And I want to tell you a story about one of them. A few months ago, we received a letter from a mom talking about a picky eater that she has in her household. She didn't ask for anything. In fact, she didn't even give us her contact information. All we had was her email address. Now, some companies might have just ignored the email or sent her a form letter, but not Hormel Foods. Instead, we wrote her back, and what happened next created an inspiring story that speaks to the journey that we are on with our inspired fans. And I want to share with you her letter. Her letter begins, "Dear Hormel Foods, I have attached a photo of my sweet and awesome little boy, Jackson. Jackson has a superpower, and that superpower is called autism." Do you know what? I'm going to let Tiffany read the letter to you.
Dear folks at SPAM, I have attached photos of my sweet and awesome little boy, Jackson. Jackson has a superpower, and that superpower is called autism. His superpower is so special that he will only eat very super and specific foods. The best of the best is SPAM and only SPAM.
So, superhero needs his own superhero cake as well. What do you think of that?
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack is always a good time for SPAM. He has now learned to fry it himself because he says he knows how to fry it to perfection. As you can see from the photos, our little 4th of July cookout, where everyone is having burgers except for Jackson, he is grilling his SPAM single. I just thought I would share this little bit about Jackson and thank you for creating something that my guy will actually eat and loves. I wish you could see and hear him as he watches me put cans of SPAM and the SPAM singles into the shopping cart. He yells SPAM almost every time. Anyway, thanks again and keep on making it. A superhero depends on it.
I love SPAM. It's delicious.
So before I saw the video, I had no idea what a spam superhero looked like. But now I know. And I think that we would all agree that he truly is a superhero, and so is his mom. What do you think? Would you like to meet Jackson? Yeah. Let me introduce you to Jackson, who's here tonight with his mom, Tiffany. Come on out. Hey, bud. How are you? So I would be remiss if I didn't tell you the rest of the story, that his dad, Grover, his brother, Wesley, his grandparents, Jackie and Norma, are also in the audience, all the way from Kentucky. So please note the spam superhero cape. Jackson, can you model that? There you go. Did you see the fancy spam bow tie? Yeah. One more thing you should know. This cape and bow tie was personally delivered by Brian Lillis, who's one of our spam product managers, and you saw him in the video. And on his own personal vacation with his family, he drove to Jackson's house in Kentucky to surprise him. Tell me that's not an inspired person. Before we let him go, though, you heard in the video, Tiffany said that Jackson loves to shout out, spam. We did not rehearse this. Jackson, you up for this? Mm-hmm. Can you give us a spam shout out?
Spam!
Yeah. Thanks, Jackson. Bye. Thanks, Jackson. Knuckles. How was that for a spam superhero? That's what Inspired People is all about. Tiffany, Jackson, the entire family, and your story has moved so many of us. And rest assured that we will always remember Jackson, the spam superhero, the first of what we know will be many, many, many inspired fans. Thank you for being here. But you know, we also have inspiration happening each and every day across Hormel Foods. One of the most interesting and exciting parts of my job is meeting team members from around the world. And we are who we are because of them, this incredible collection of talented, committed, and diverse team members. Now, last year I was giving this presentation at our Jennie-O facility in Faribault, and I had a chance to hear about a very special group of employees who are on their own journey to make a difference in this world. Now, to help me tell this story, I'm going to ask my special guest, Misty Nelson, I want to make sure I get this right, to join me on stage with a few of our other special guests. These individuals are members of our Jennie-O plant team in Faribault, Minnesota. So we have Jody Long, our plant manager, Tung Truong, along with our special guest, Faisal Mohammed, Abdullahi Molin, and Mohammed Yahya. So now Tung, who's a supervisor at Jennie-O, he loves to tell the story of the first day he met Abdullahi. As part of the hiring process at Jennie-O Turkey Store, they take applicants on a plant tour. Now, Abdullahi, he stood out right away. Not only was he enthusiastically participating in the tour, you see he had a guest with him, a sign language interpreter. Abdullahi, who was born in Somalia, lost his hearing as a result of a childhood illness. But Tung saw through it. Tung hired him on the spot and began thinking about how he could ensure that Abdullahi could be safe and successful in the plant environment. And what happened next was nothing short of incredible. Abdullahi quickly became a trusted team member, thriving in the complex plant environment. A few months later, Tung found that he had another deaf applicant on his plant tour. You see, word was spreading that this was a place that accepted differences. In fact, Tung has had as many as 10 of his 37 team members deaf or hard of hearing. The forms and styles of communication are as diverse as the plant team members. In fact, many of the hearing employees on Tung's team have even learned some sign language. The drive of these team members and the support, acceptance, and encouragement they have received from their coworkers has been outstanding. They are achieving greatness and certainly have inspired so many of us along the way.
Normally, when people work for us for long term, so they get more understand, what we need. They come in and they like to show us what they can do. They really want to go out there and do the job, because I believe it's just not for them, but also for their community. Every day we learn more, and we learn out more from each other. I mean, to find the best way to get a good communication with them.
So how's that for passion, commitment, and inspiration? Not only to their team in Faribault, but to all of our associates around the world. And the work that they're doing at Jennie-O is making a difference, well beyond the products that we produce there. So now I need some audience participation. You guys up for it? So I have learned that applause in sign language is this. So, what I want from all of you is a rousing, albeit quiet, round of applause for this remarkable team. That's cool. Pretty special. Thank you so much. Jody, thank you. Thank you. Misty, thank you. Every day I get to hear stories about incredible things happening at Hormel Foods and our family of companies. It really is amazing. And I certainly hope that you leave here tonight inspired by this journey that we are on together. And while our focus will never waver from delivering industry-leading results, it is clear that our progress is measured not only in the dollars we make, but in the lives that we touch and the communities we lift. Because at Hormel Foods, we're not just inspired to make great food and deliver outstanding returns to our shareholders, we are inspired to make a difference. Thank you. And as we move to close this successful meeting, the Secretary has a report on the voting. Mr. Johnson, will you please give us that report?
I'm pleased to report each of the 12 director nominees has been elected by a majority vote. Items 2, 3, and 4 have each been approved by the required vote. The final tabulation of the vote will be included on a Form 8-K filed with the SEC in the next few days.
Well, thank you, Mr. Secretary. I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight, and I want to thank you for your continued support of this great company. Our meeting is adjourned. Enjoy your evening.